So we are delighted to talk to you.
Thank you.
So India is known as the diabetic capital,
Yeah.
and you've done a research and study on pistachios. So can you share the key highlights?
Yeah. So we always knew that nuts may have some beneficial effects, but on pistachio there was no study, particularly in people with diabetes, pre-diabetes. There are 136 million people with pre-diabetes in India. So we thought, let us see whether this pistachio use has any benefits on pre-diabetes. So we took a group of people who were given pistachio, it's an intervention group, and one group which was a control group where they did not have pistachio. At the end of 3 months, 12 weeks, we found that the glucose level came down, the 3 months average came down, the triglycerides came down, the waist circumference came down, I mean the obesity came down, fat came down, and when you looked at the diet, the protein content went up, the fiber content went up, the carbohydrate content and the glycemic load came down. So we gave 30 grams of pistachio, raw pistachio in the morning, and 30 grams, that's one fistful in the morning and one fistful at night. This seemed to have such a dramatic effect on people with pre-diabetes, and the HbA1c also came down 3 months average. So we believe that not just people with pre-diabetes, but normal healthy people also, and also people with diabetes, if they can substitute some of their carbohydrate like wheat or rice with nuts, keep the calories same, but then substitute it. It will become a much healthier diet compared to just eating the carbs that we eat 3 times a day.
Wonderful. Can you compare pistachios versus the other nuts?
So we have now completed and published studies on cashew, then almond, and this is our third nut that we studied, pistachio. Now we thought all the nuts will be the same. It's not the same. Some have little better effect. I think as far as pistachio is concerned, on the glucose level, it actually had lowering of glucose level. With cashew, there was no lowering of that, but the BP dropped with cashew. And with almonds, we had some other beneficial effects on the cholesterol and all, a little better with almond. So I think each nut is good in its own way. All of them are not bad at all. They're all good. They all help to reduce weight. They all help metabolically. So probably a combination of 2 or 3 nuts is probably the best. But as far as the study is concerned, we found that the glucose level dropped, weight dropped, blood pressure didn't drop in the study, but the triglycerides, the lipids also dropped. So it seems to have good beneficial effects for people who have some kind of metabolic disorder, including obesity.
Okay, what should be the ideal Indian diet?
Ideal Indian diet is whatever we are taking, as I call it, as a plate concept, the thali or the plate concept. Half your plate should be vegetables.
Okay.
Green leafy vegetables. Quarter of the plate should be protein. If it is non-veg protein, it can be fish, chicken or egg. If it is a vegetable protein, it can be paneer, or it can be Bengal gram, green gram, black gram, rajma, any of this. A glass of milk, all that will give you enough protein. And then the last quarter of the plate only for carbohydrate, which means you can have one chapati. I'm talking to people with diabetes. One chapati or just a little bit of rice. That is to balance it out. Now what you're doing is, we eat first round of rice with sambar, second round of rice with the rasam, third round of rice with with curd. So that's how in South India we eat. So that mountains of rice we call it. If that is reduced and you replace it with vegetables, some fruit and protein, and reduce the carbs, that is the best Indian diet that you can give. And of course, avoid fried foods and samosas and burgers and the high calorie foods, a lot of fat and fried foods, and these kind of things are bad for you, obviously.
All right. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking
Thank
to you.
you.
Thank you, Shri. Thank you.